You can still walk just fine across the room, down the hallway, maybe even around the neighborhood, but something has started to feel different. There's a particular moment that a lot of people describe in almost exactly the same way. What happens in the morning? You wake up, you sit up in bed, maybe take a quiet breath, and then you swing your legs over the side and stand, and something feels slightly off, not painful, not alarming, just different. Like the floor isn't quite where your body expected it to be. Like there's a half-second delay between the intention to move and the movement itself. You're fine, you know you're fine, but there's something there, something quiet and hard to name. Most people don't mention it. It feels too small to bring up and somehow too significant to say out loud. So they notice it and move on. What's interesting is that for most people in that situation, walking is still fine. You can move through your day. The walking part still feels natural, familiar, like it always has. It's the transitions that feel different. Standing up from a low chair, sitting back down more carefully than before, getting up from the couch and taking that first step. These moments have quietly started to require just a little more intention. And this is where things begin to shift. Because if you pay attention, you might notice something else, a small pause before you stand. Not because anything hurts, but because your body is doing something automatically, almost like it's checking itself, a brief moment where everything gathers before the movement begins. That pause is real and is telling you something. There's a difference, a subtle but important difference, between walking and transitioning. Walking is rhythmic. Once you're in motion, the body settles into a pattern. One foot, then the other. Everything working together in a flow that's been practiced for years. But standing up from a chair, that's not rhythm, that's recovery. Your weight shifts forward, then upward. Your legs generate force from the stillness, and your balance system has to catch up almost instantly. The same is true when you step off a curb or turn quickly or reach for something just out of range. These are the moments that ask your body to respond, and most people don't notice this until those moments start to feel less certain. When that happens, the easiest explanation is simple. I'm getting older, and yes, the body does change, but there's another part of the story that matters just as much. It's not just aging, it's what the body stops practicing. Balance isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a skill. And like any skill, it responds to how often it's used. When life becomes more settled, more predictable, with fewer moments that challenge your balance, those systems begin to quiet down. Not because they're gone, because they're not being asked. The body is efficient. It doesn't maintain what it doesn't use. And over time, steadiness can fade quietly in the background. But here's the part that matters most. Confidence often fades before a strength does. Your body may still be capable, still able to balance, to respond, to catch itself, but your trust in that ability can change much faster. One unsteady moment, one morning that felt different, and suddenly there's hesitation. And that hesitation changes how you move. You start lowering yourself more carefully, holding onto railings a little longer, avoiding movements that feel uncertain. And your body adapts to that. It begins to practice caution instead of capability, not because you're weak, but because you've stopped asking for those responses. None of this takes away from walking. Walking is valuable. It supports your heart, your circulation, your mood. If you're walking regularly, that matters. But walking doesn't train everything your body needs. It doesn't train recovery. It doesn't train that first moment after standing. It doesn't train how your body catches itself when something unexpected happens. Walking is a rhythm, but balance is a response. And those are not the same. So what actually matters in everyday life, not in a gym, just in the quiet reality of a normal day, standing up from a chair, sitting back down with control, taking that first step and feeling steady, stepping onto a curb, shifting your weight onto one leg, even for a moment. These are the movements that shape independence. And when those feel steady, everything else feels easier. So what can you actually do? Not as a routine, not as a program, just as part of your day. Standing up a little more deliberately, letting your legs do the work instead of dropping into the chair, pausing for a second before that first step, letting your balance settle. Standing near a counter and gently shifting your weight onto one foot, even briefly. These aren't big changes, but they ask your body something it hasn't been asked in a while. And even one or two of these small moments a day can begin to change how your body responds. And over time, something as subtle starts to shift. Less hesitation before standing, a steadier first step in the morning, a little more ease in movements that once felt uncertain. Maybe the railing is still there, but you're not relying on it in quite the same way. And what that creates is something deeper than strength. It's trust. Trust in your body, trust in your movement, trust that when you need to respond, your body will be there. If any of this feels familiar, you probably already know which moment stood out to you. For some people, it's standing up. For others, it's that first step in the morning. Just noticing that is already a meaningful place to begin, because this isn't about going backward. It's not about moving the way you did years ago. It's about something quieter, staying connected to what your body can still do, and gently reminding it that it still can. And that, more than anything, is what supports independence over time.